What's up everyone? Today I'm bringing a deck profile on my Warrocks. Warrocks, I'm going to be honest, they aren't really the greatest deck. Mainly because its gimmick is being destroyed by your opponent's card effect, which opponent's not going to do that thing, that's just going to trigger your Warrocks. But there is a way to kind of play this deck. It's a going second OTK. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First, I run 3 Warrock Fortia. Now, all the Warrocks have an effect to if they're destroyed by, if they're sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon level 5 or higher Warrock monster from your hand or deck. That's almost never going to happen, because why would your opponent willingly trigger that? Now, the first effect, if your Earth Warrior monster battles, after damage calculation, you can add 1 Warrock card from your deck to your hand, except Fortia. Then all Warrock monsters you control gain 200 attack. Now, all the Warrocks pretty much have a way to boost your opponent's, or boost your monster's attack, except maybe like the Gacto. And that can definitely come up sometimes because you can search your mountain or your medium. I also run 3 Warrock Gactos. Now, if an Earth monster is normal summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. And the cool thing is that's not once per turn. So let's say you have Fortia and 3 Gactos. Technically, you can activate all 3 of them. Also run 3 Warrock Wento. Warrock Wento, the effect really is pretty pointless for the most part, because all it does is boost an Earth Warrior monster by 800 attack. What we mainly want it for is to be a Warrock name. So if we summon Wento or Fortia, that'll trigger the Gactos and we can special summon it. Also run the 1 Skylar. Skylar, during a battle phase in which your Earth Warrior monster battles, quick effect, target 1 level 5 or lower Warrior monster graveyard, special summon it. Also run the 1 Meteor again. Now, once per turn during a battle phase in which Earth Warrior monster battles, quick effect, you can make all Warrock monsters you currently control gain 200 attack till the end of your opponent's turn. Also, this card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase this turn. So that's definitely pretty good, but it's not really the most useful considering our win condition has to be able to attack into a monster. I also run the 1 Bashalos. Now, the cool part is while this card is in the hand or graveyard, when your Earth Warrior monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card. The rest of the monsters I run are just good going seconds. Now, stuff like Raigeki, Darkhold, while they are good going second, with our win condition, our opponent has to have a monster. So, I run the 3 Nibiru, 3 Lava Golem, as well as 3 Gamasuke, 3 Gardarla, and 3 Raiden. Honestly, if we open up both Nibiru or Lava Golem and a Kaiju, that's definitely pretty good, because let's say Nibiru, you activate it, and obviously your opponent's going to have a pretty big token that you can just use the Kaijus to get rid of it. I run 3 Warrock Mountain. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Warrock monster from your deck to your hand. And at the start of the battle phase, if you control no monsters or all monsters you control are a warrior, you can special summon a Warrock monster from your hand with a different name than the cards you control. That's definitely really good. Obviously, you get the first effect, which is a searcher. But let's say you already have a Gactos and a Fortia in hand. Say you want to add the Meteor again. You can just summon this to your field for an extra bit of damage. And considering our win condition, that's definitely pretty useful. Also run the 1 Terraforming Search out because you really want the field spell. I also run the 1 Double or Nothing. Yep, that's the win condition. The deck doesn't really put up negates and doesn't really push for a lot of attacks, so there's not really a win condition in this deck. So we gotta outsource. With Double or Nothing, basically you can attack your opponent for 10,000 damage, which in most cases, that's going to be game. Especially if you use your Kaijus, you can just attack right into your Kaiju. And if you have one of the higher level Warrocks or another Kaiju, that's just a little bit of insurance. I also run the 3 Warrock Medium. Warrock Medium, I hate activating. If your opponent controls a special summon monster and you control a level 7 or higher Warrock monster, during main phase, none of the player can activate the effects of monsters on the field. So it's a bit of a kind of a floodgate effect. It kind of conflicts a little bit with us going second, but we really do need it because in instances where we don't have the field spell or enough Warrock monsters to go into the Utopia Devil, then we need to go into the Warrock Medium. Because during the main phase, you can set 1 Warrock spell trap directly from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except warrior monsters. Thankfully, the Utopia and Utopia Devil is their warrior, so they work perfectly under this. But I can essentially get you your Warrock, and then we can do other stuff with it. Warrock Medium is more or less kind of like a last resort. I run 3 Pot of Extravagance. At the start of main phase, well, you already know it. Pot of Extravagance is, I don't need to explain it. We don't really care about the extra deck for the most part, except maybe a few cards, but you just run 3 of all of them. Also run the 1 Change of Hearts, so we're going second. If they have multiple monsters, Kaiju 1, Change of Heart the other, then attack with the Utopia Double. Definitely want to clear the back row. And I also got the 1 Rhoda, Search Warriors, and 1 Call by Grave, because if they ask the Utopia Double effect, yeah, that's going to be pretty rough. Now, each of the cards I run in the X deck, you would play 3 copies. I don't necessarily have 3 copies of each of them, but with playing a Pot of Extravagance, you definitely want to run 3. So I run the 3 Bagooska. Obviously, I don't have 2 actual copies. Or I don't actually have 3 copies of Bagooska because I rarely use it. Well, I do use it, but I only got 1, really. The 3 Utopia. Of course, I'd also run 3 of the Utopia Double. If you banish all 3 Utopia Double or all 3 Utopia on Extravagance, that'll suck. I'd also run the 3 Abyss Dweller and the 3 Zeus. So yeah, 3 Bagooska, 3 Utopia, 3 Utopia Double, 3 Dweller, and 3 Zeus. What do you think of Warrocks? Do you think it's a deck that definitely needs a lot more support? Because I definitely think it does. Let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye.